Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope everyone's doing fine. Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. Good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. How are you? Hope everyone's doing well. Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is H. Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H. Some people call me Havis. Some people call me Terrence. Some people call me Mr. Bardui. And if you're from the 767, what you call is a body, you call me Luca Boy. Yes. Dominica made me boss. Now South sustains me. How are you beautiful people doing? I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone's doing beautiful. I'm doing fantastic. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. Welcome. I hope everyone's doing well. Welcome. It's about time for our theme song, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to cue it up, get everything ready, and start the show. Yeah. I'm so excited. I have a great show in store for you tonight. I hope you are ready for it. And again, welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. How was your day? It's raining today. Are you doing all right? Did you get a little rain out there? Were you a little worried about the rain? But you know what? We're going to start it up. Good evening. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. How's everybody doing? Let's get our theme song and start the show. I think I should strum a little. What do you think? Yeah, strum a little.
Dominica made me, that's where it all began. Island breeze, coconut trees, the heart of my plan. From the hills and the smiles to the songs of the sea, that island spirit molded the person I'd be. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray. On those snowy streets, learn to stand tall, navigating life, every rise, every fall. From the commons to the brownstones, I made my claim. With every lesson learned, I embraced my name. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray. Now the South sustains me with its warm embrace, a community of strength and love in every space. From the bayous to the beaches, I found my place. In this journey of finance, I've learned to chase grace. Dominica made me, Boston raised me high. The South sustains my soul as I reach for the sky. With every sunrise, I'm thankful and free. A licensed financial pro, just being me. So here's to the roots that shaped who I am. From Dominica's beauty to Boston's Grand Slam. In the South I stand strong, with purpose and pride. Together with my journey, side by side.
Yes, 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 yes. Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H. Some people call me Havis. Some people call me Terrence. Some people call me Mr. Bardui. Some people call me Little Boy. And if you're from the 767, Whitey Kubuli, tall is her body, the Commonwealth of Dominica, St. Luke's Parish, aka La Puente. If you're from La Puente, you call me Luca Boy. Dominica made me, Boston raised me. Now the South sustains me. How are you beautiful people doing tonight? Hope everybody's doing well. Mr. Alvin Vasa, Miss Goodwill, welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence and everybody else who's watching. Let me look on Instagram. I see Mr. Sheldon. Who's that? Miss Self-Development. Yes, Miss Self-Development. How you doing? Partner, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. I was strumming that little guitar here. Hope everyone's doing well, man. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. Again, like you guys know, my name is H. Terrence Bardui, but on this show, it's Terrence for you, all right? I don't care if you call me H, if you call me Havis. I hope you're doing well. This is a beautiful month. September is a beautiful month for my industry. There's so much going on. We call it Liam, hashtag Liam. Liam, Life Insurance Awareness Month. Liam, Life Insurance Awareness Month. And this is a big month for us in my industry because we just don't use life insurance for death. We use it for income protection, debt elimination, and legacy creation. We use it for a plethora of things as well. College planning, vacation planning, infinite banking concepts, a plethora of things we can use it for, But if you don't know how to do that, that's when you got to reach out to me or one of my business partners. So I hope you're doing well tonight. I have a great show planned for you tonight, an awesome show, and I'm looking forward to that. I see, take my comments real quickly. Let's see. It's pretty cool. It says, why you doing what you're doing? Why you keep doing what you're doing? That's what we're going to talk about tonight. But just before we do that, though, how are you doing spiritually, physically, psychologically, mentally? This is not a political show. We're not going to talk about politics. We're not going to talk about foolishness, but there's a lot of things going on in this geopolitical world right now. And I think you have to be under a rock not to know what's going on. All right. You have to be under a rock. But I can say this. This is what I'm going to say. I saw a post that in Mississippi, a young college student, I think he was either 21 or 22, was found hung on a tree. Hung on a tree. And I am not seeing an outrage. I am not seeing people who look like me posting about it, talking about it. I don't see that. Young African-American man. And the funny thing about it, his legs were broken. So if your legs are broken, how do you get on a tree? I don't know. But we're living in this crazy world, this crazy times. All I got to tell you guys, in these last days, man, as a Christian, all I can tell you is this. Look up your redemption joy of 9, man. Bunch of foolishness going on. So right now, what I'm going to do is we're going to transition from that and go right into Tuesdays with Terrence. You see what I did there? I'm not going to talk about what happened last week. I'm not doing that. But I want us as people, especially people who look like me, people of color, to recognize what's going on in Mississippi. And I want to see some of you that I see posting some stuff. I want to see you all start doing your research and finding out about it and posting about it as well. Awareness is key because we're in some crazy times. With that being said, let's go look at markets today. Yesterday I noticed that, yesterday I noticed that markets were up. One of my friends' 401k, I look at it for them every day, and I was like, ooh, you up there, you getting up there. I'm looking at what it was in 2022 and where it's at now. So today we look at the stock market. The Dow Jones was up, not up, but down actually in the red. The Dow Jones was down 125.55. The NASDAQ, which is primarily tech stocks, right? Um, they were down 14.79. The S&P, the Standard and Poor's, the 500 biggest companies here, is down 8.52. So, everybody lost a little bit of money today. And, my job is to make sure that we talk about what it is that I do and how that affects you. Now, I want to make it very, very clear. My clients are never affected, I should say, affected by these conditions. They're never affected by that. So I think it's key for me that I realize that and that we make sure that we keep talking about that. All right. We got to make sure we keep talking about that. But how are you doing mentally? Are you all right? How are you doing spiritually? Physically, I went for a walk today. I talk about health is wealth. So I walk. I see my business partner, Valerie Rodriguez on the other line. She goes to the gym, boy. She pumps iron. She does all this work. Excellent body. She's a vegan like me, and I appreciate that. I just saw someone posted something on Facebook. They're doing a detox, and they're only doing fruits, and I'm so proud of them as well. But listen, I'm not here to preach to you what you should eat, but what I do know is a healthy lifestyle consists of healthy living. And I go walking. I think I'm getting a little bigger. My pants feeling tighter. Someone asked me, am I gaining weight because my face look a little fatter? I don't know. Do I look a little fatter, guys? Be honest. They say the camera puts 2 or 3 pounds on you, 10 pounds on you. Do I look fatter? Do I look okay? Tell me. I need to know so I can start watching what I eat, So put it in the chat if you see that. And let me just go to the chat and say welcome to everyone. I put it in there. I'm going to say welcome. Let me welcome all. And there are some people who may watch on YouTube, maybe some people watching on Facebook, my personal page, Davis Bardui, my business page, Bardui Financial Services. Some people may be watching on Instagram, HTB964 or BFS Financial Services. Some people may be watching on X, formerly Twitter, which is HTB964. And some people are probably watching on LinkedIn, Davis Bardui, H. Terrence Bardui. So I stream on multiple platforms so that people can't say they don't know. People can't say they didn't hear about it. So, back to the lecture at hand. You all know what I do is educate. I pontificate. I teach you how to eradicate debt. I teach you how to protect your income, and I teach you how to create legacies. Financial legacies is important. And I used to say that at the beginning when I first started doing Tuesdays with Terrence. In February coming will be 6 years. 6 years I've been doing this thing, man. I started February 4th, 2020, went right into COVID, never missed a show. I only won, I think, during the George Floyd thing, I think the summer of 2020 or 2021, whenever that was. In June, I did one show where I had a black screen for an hour as my protest, my silent protest. I did that. And it was one of those things that I felt very proud about. And I want to make it clear, George Floyd was a father as well. Good evening to Cavell Scott. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you on the show tonight. So, why you keep doing what you're doing? How did you get that? Why you keep doing what you're doing? Do you know what you're doing? Are you aware of what you're doing? Do you even care about what you're doing? There's someone who's watching the show tonight. I know they're on. I'm watching them. I can see that they're on, and they sent me a text today. A little text of inspiration, and the text said, "I'm freezing up." Okay, sorry. The text said that they didn't lie because you were easy to fool. They lied because deception is who they are. And sometimes we talk about self about that, right? I thought that was a great post, right? But the funny thing about it is, this individual who's watching, I remember a couple years ago, I gave him some tips, some financial tips, and they've executed it. They were having some issues with their credit. They sent me a text today. TransUnion 788, excellent. Equifax 782, and the other one is not on there, but excellent. I am so proud. This individual was in the 500s, I think, the high fives or mid fives, and they've been consistently being a fiduciary of their credit and building it up and building it up. So I'm so proud of you. I can't call your name because I don't want to put your business out there, but I'm so very, very proud of you. Continue to take, and this person told me, they said, I wish I had met you a long time ago. They've known me for a while, but they wish they had met me a long time ago. Because one thing I do is, I give good advice. I'm in the process of right now of helping a couple of people of doing some rollovers. All right, and it's tricky, because some of the ones I'm doing for some of them, that's all of their retirement or most of their retirement, like 90%. So I want to make sure I do the right thing and protect it for them. So that's what we're in the process of doing that. So in the next week, 2 to 3 weeks, I should have all that stuff taken care of for them. And I'm going to continue to advocate them and make sure that they are ready to do what they need. Well, also tonight at my church, they're having a special prayer meeting. The men's do a prayer meeting once a month on Tuesdays. And the speaker this evening is Sandy Bardui. And obviously I got to do Tuesdays with Terrence, so I hope somebody take a clip of it. If she or somebody do a clip, they send it to me, I'll post it. But I just want you to know, Sandy Bardui, God got you. Go out there, preach well, do it. You got it tonight. Now, back to the lecture at hand. It says, why you keep doing what you're doing. There is a text in the Bible that Paul talks about what he wants to do, he doesn't do, or he cannot do, and what he doesn't want to do, he does. So what he wants to do, he doesn't do, and what he wants to do, he doesn't do, and what he doesn't want to do, he does. So let's break it down. This is not a sermon, but let's break it down. Do you want to improve your credit? Do you want to protect your income? Do you want to eliminate debt? Do you want to create a legacy? Do you want to do college savings for your kids or your grandkids? Do you want to have an infinite banking concept where you can borrow OPM, other people's money? Do you want to become the bank and you can, when you can finance your vacations? Do you want to save in a way that, or grow, tax favored income, which you never have to pay taxes on? You see, I was talking to one of my clients this week. I had an appointment on Sunday, and I was explaining to the client, for the last 30, 40 years you've been working, and you've been making contributions to your 401k. And that 401k has administrative fees, 1 or 2%, whether it's with Fidelity, Empower, Lincoln Financial, Vanguard, AIG, I don't care where it is. No matter where it is, you, for the last 30, 40 years, if you're about 59 and a half, 60 years old, you've been working about 30, 40 years now. Because if you got out of college around 22, 32, 42, 52, 62, well, almost 40 years. You get my point. Almost 40 years. And you've been deferring taxes. And that's what you know. Now, if you had met me 20, 30, 40 years ago, some of these concepts I didn't know. I was a banker, telling you to, get a bank account, and, you know, I didn't even work on the mortgage side or the loan side. I work on the retail banking side. I managed risk. You know, I remember small businesses in the area or business in the area, people come and cash checks. I had to approve it, based on the relationship with the bank. But now I'm educating people on protecting what they have. So what you should be doing every time you get paid is pay yourself first. Now, remember the scripture I just gave you a little while ago? Paul said what he wants to do, he doesn't do, and what he doesn't want to do, he does. So there are some people who are very disciplined. I have some very disciplined clients who, I was talking to a client yesterday, and this client is very disciplined. I'm in the process of doing a small rollover for them as well. And this client is very disciplined. They're a saver. You see, you have two kinds of people. You have a saver and a spender, or, you got a saver or a spender, and some people like to spend. You have a debtor. Some people go into debt. Now, there's good debt. You get a mortgage. You need a mortgage. Most people can. The average person can't buy a house cash, so you get a mortgage. The average person can't buy a car cash, so you get a car loan. Some people have equity line of credits against one of my clients I'm working with right now is in the process of closing theirs out by paying it off before we do the rollover for them. But student loans, sometimes you may get a personal loan for something that you're trying to do. Some of those debts are good, right? But there's some bad debts. Co-signing for people is a bad debt. I don't care who it is. Don't do it. Buying stuff because, even timeshares and some of these things people do. I've done that. It's ridiculous. So why is it that you're doing that you're not supposed to do you're doing? It's not because you're not disciplined. It's because you keep taking your eyes off the prize. And it's your natural inclination. There are some people, they had no financial literacy growing up. I have clients who work in the financial services industry, I should say, and I'm not even aware. I have this one client, man. I love this client. When they saw how debt elimination worked and how much money that their bank had in cash value life insurance, it blew their mind. And they had no clue of that. Zero clue. So you keep meeting people every day who got mortgages, car loans, student loans, credit cards, all kind of stuff. And then you may have a credit card and you pay it every month when you get your bill. That's discipline. That's discipline. I also made a post the other day and I said, what did I say about the post? Let me see if I can pull it up. I said, if your money runs out after paying bills and taking care of your home, you're not broke, you're responsible. But I want to add a caveat to that. If your money runs out after paying bills and taking care of your home, and also paying yourself, you're not broke, you're responsible. Because when you start putting monies in banks is our businesses. And basically they give you what, 0.5%, 0.10%. You may have a high interest account, get maybe 1%, or a CD, 2%, whatever. But guess what? When you get a credit card, the bank doesn't give you 1% or 2%. They're giving you 18%, 29%. I used to have a client who had a car loan, and I keep telling you all about it, and that car loan was about 18 or 22%. Now, I think it was predatory lending, and that person, didn't understand a lot of stuff because they're undocumented, but that's neither here or there. The point I'm trying to make is Right now, I have a client who has a car loan, and their car loan is 2.99%. So it tells me two things. One, they got good credit. And because that person has good credit, the second thing is they have enough cash to pay off their car loan, but they're like, you know what? I can afford it, and the interest rate is low. I'm just going to keep paying it. But that individual also pays themselves. They did it in a one-time situation. But you have to keep paying yourself. And there are three strategies that I believe that everybody should have. Three retirement strategies. And I talked about it last week as well. One is an index universal life policy where it's like a Roth IRA on steroids, because a Roth IRA, you can only start accessing it after you're 59 and a half. If you go before that, you have to pay the 10% IRS penalty, and you don't pay taxes, but you got to pay the 10%. So if you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and you're not at 59 and a half, you just got to wait. You got to eat the penalty, right? So why don't you use this strategy of an IUL, an index universal life policy, where you can overfund it? You see, a Roth IRA on steroids, that's what we call IULs, index universal life policy, where you can start dumping a lot of money. Now, everybody don't have a lot of money, but when you start, you dump what you put in what you can. And guess what? It'll grow incrementally, right? Incrementally, it'll grow. And if the market's down, you don't lose a penny. If the market's up, you get a percentage of it. But you can access it before you're 59 and a half. And if you fund it properly, I keep talking about this 29-year-old client I have. I think he's going to be 31 this year. When he's 50, he can retire if he chooses to, if he continues funding what he's funding, about $2,000 a month. He can continue funding this. And I think he should double money as well. But he can get tax-free retirement income at age 50 for the rest of his life of 6 figures. That's for Social Security. If you get another job and have a 401k or 403b or 457 or TSP. And that's one retirement strategy. So if you take, well, my company has a 401k and they match up to 10%, and I'm going to contribute 10%. I know people whose companies matching 3 or 4 or 5 or 6%, and they contributing 10, 15%. I disagree with that strategy. The reason why I disagree with that strategy is because you are hurting yourself. The free money's up to the match. I want to say good evening to Robin Martin and to Esther Duran-Casby. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. Glad to see you guys on tonight. My point I'm trying to make here is that you got to know that let me rephrase it this way. I asked my client this question. I said, what if we go into business together? I got a business proposal for you. You got all this money right now, so I got a business proposal for you, a good one. You're going to put up all the money. We're equal partners, right? You're going to put up all the money. You're going to manage it from a day-to-day basis. You're going to handle the overhead and everything, the risk and everything. And in 40 years, I'm going to tell you how much you owe me or how much you owe my estate. And I asked this individual, would you go into business with me? They said no. And I said, I agree with you. I wouldn't do it with my mother either. Excuse me, but that's what most people are doing in America. People with 401ks, 403bs, 457s, and TSPs are going into business with the government, and the government is going to tell you in 40 years how much taxes you owe them. It sounds like a win-win for the government. So some of you might say, well, Havis, Terrence, H, Mr. Bardui, little boy, what do you mean? Are you saying you don't believe? Nah, that's not what I'm saying. I said take up to the match or contribute up to the match, and the rest you put it in a supplemental retirement, the IUL, that you can access it tax-free. And I think The reason why some people are not doing that, they're not aware of it. 2, they don't want to learn about it. 3, their pride. 4, they're lousy with money. And 5, they listen to everybody under the sun. Because even if you're lousy with money, the reason why the government take taxes out of your check every week or month or bi-weekly is because they don't trust you to pay it. They don't. Because if they did, they would allow you to pay at the end of the year. No, they take it. And some of you overpay and then you get a refund, and some people may owe and you got to pay the man, right? So I'm not telling you not to do that. I'm saying, why are you? I was watching today on C-SPAN, Kash Patel, who's the FBI director, the Senate Oversight Committee, or whoever that committee was questioning him about some things, right? And a lot of the questions that they asked him were yes or no questions. He couldn't say yes or no. You know why he couldn't say yes or no? Because he's not really the government. He reports to someone. So you don't control taxes. Congress does. The government does. You remember the big, beautiful bill that just passed? Well, have you read it? Listen, folks, don't sit here and talk to me about what you know. Let's have discourse and talk about what you don't know. I say pay the taxes now, dump the money into your supplemental account, and access it tax advantage. Tax advantage is that if you distribute it the proper way, you never have to pay taxes. But a lot of people weren't aware, and I'm not mad. Let me tell you something, folks. I'm never mad at people who didn't know. I get mad at people who I've educated, and like my father used to say, forming the fool. Forming the fool. That's a Dominican term. Or they say forming the you know the other word for a donkey? They forming the donkey. You all know what word that is. And my point here is that education is paramount in anything that you do. I don't care if it's religion, politics, sports, financial services, education. Educating yourself is paramount. So what I try to do every week, I come on here and I try to educate folks and talk to them. And some people listen to me. Some people don't. I want to say welcome to my boy, Sam, all the way in Florida. How you doing, young man? I'm watching on Instagram. I don't know if you're still watching, but welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. Folks, someone told me I'm very, what's the word they use? Brash. It's true. I have no filter when it comes to this. But I understand that's not everything you can say. And I'm going to tell you guys something. Most people think I say everything that's on my mind. I don't. I only say about 10%. The other 90% is stifled. Now, communication is key. My mother used to say, you can tell a man he's a dog without calling him a dog. If my mother ever said to me, I'm very disappointed in you, that was calling me a dog. I remember, I'm not going to give you the whole story. I remember one time my mother said, you are living in sin. I was. I didn't care. I was young, 1920. I'm 61 now. That's a long time ago, you know, as my mother is resting in the Lord until Judgment Day, right? But hearing those things hurt because the truth, You see, most of us, we don't like constructive criticism. Now, I'm not criticizing anything. To be honest, I don't care what you do. But what I do care about is that you make prudent financial decisions when it comes to your future. Because someone texted me today and said they want to talk to me about some financial advice. And the person is not here. They're in my homeland of Dominica. I I'm not I I'm not licensed there, but whatever they want to talk about, I'll make the time for them. I've given advice to people in Dominica. Someone chooses with Terrence last week or 2 weeks ago in Antigua wanted asking me about life insurance. I don't know how it's done there, but I know I could find someone who can find someone there to get them. As a matter of fact, I know a licensed agent in Dominica who probably knows a licensed agent there who can help them. And I don't know how it works in the Caribbean, but it would be nice if the Caribbean, especially the Eastern Caribbean countries that use the same currency. There's a word for it. I can't remember the name, how you call those countries altogether. It'll come to me in a minute. I think they should have licensing, over the Caribbean. So you could have a client in Antigua, even though you're in Dominica, or if it's the same company, but different countries have different rules and different laws. The point I'm trying to make here is simply this. People in other countries are asking me for my advice or my suggestions or for direction. And here, a lot of people, I have a lot of clients as well. And I'm so proud of them for taking advice. But what I'm trying to say here to you all is that if you're not using some of the strategies that I'm talking about, what do I have to do? A backflip? You want me to do a backflip? And someone told me one time, I don't take advice from Facebook. I want to say you're a damn liar, because you all be posting stuff on Facebook, and if a new sneaker or a new this or a new come on, listen, man. I use Facebook as a medium to educate and to distribute information to people. If you notice, I never call names. I can't. If you notice, I just say I have a client. And if you notice, if you're more, my computer is freezing up. I apologize for that. If you are interested in knowing more, schedule an appointment with me. It's a one-on-one. We can do it via Zoom. There's some people. I have a client in Philly. She don't have no internet. She don't have. I think she finally got a cell phone. She don't even have an email address. I got to go to Philly to see her. I've gone New York. I've gone New Jersey, Massachusetts, Texas, Florida, Georgia. I'll go anywhere, but most of my work can be done virtually. I educate you. I show you. And the funny thing about it is, I think pride is a terrible thing. Some people, I'm thinking of someone right now that I was trying to help, and we found out that we couldn't use their spouse, we should use them, and they, I don't know if they felt a little bad. Well, I think what we did was expose something on the health tip for your family. Get it right. So I educate, I pontificate, and I teach you to eradicate debt. But most importantly, I teach you how to protect what you have. And like I told people, I made a post the other day. I'm not the financial pro. Although the song was singing, I was playing the guitar. I'm not the financial pro for everybody. I know that. I'm a licensed financial pro for the people who are my tribe, and my tribe finds me. Someone just hit me up on TikTok last week. They want me to help their husband. I said, "What's your number?" They give me the number. I give it. I said, "Well, have your husband call me." Now, apparently, this person was trying to talk to their husband for a while, but the person didn't give me their husband's number. They gave me their number. Well, how am I going to talk to your husband? Because it's my job to call people. Because sometimes people, I saw an article it says people will spend 3 months planning a cruise, a vacation, an outing, whether you go to a cruise in the Caribbean or Alaska or a trip to Dubai or Greece or Europe, I don't know, Italy, France, England, Greece, Alaskan trip, Hawaii. They'll spend weeks and months planning, and you won't even spend an hour with me just to figure out where you are, where you're trying to get to, and which road can lead you there. An hour? I don't care who you are. Everybody got an hour. You all be watching Netflix and chill. You all be watching football games. You all be watching CNN and politics. For the past week, everybody's been watching what happened, making all this. So why can't you decide, to make the time? So what I do is I come on, I educate, I teach. I try to give pointers, give gems, tips, because the third strategy that people don't use is the one where you can have a guaranteed lifetime income. Like Social Security, right? It's for as long as you live, right? But what if it runs out? I'm not here to tell you to run. I don't think it will, not in my generation. Maybe the new generation coming up. So you all know wealthy people don't have 401ks. They use these strategies like the 7702 code that the IRS uses for life insurance to make it tax-free. They use those things to their advantage. So if you're John Doe and you're making 30 grand or 50 grand a year, you're not making six figures, well, do what you can. At least listen to what I have to say so I can educate you. Well, I don't know, man. I don't know. Some of you are educators. You've been working in the school system 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. You have a 403B. You're over 60. You're over 59 and a half. Why are you still taking all the risk? Some of you, I know now, I have a niece she's like 44, I believe, 44, 40, 45. She was born in 80. I think she can retire next year, a full pension from the school system as an educator. Went to college in Boston College. Went to grad school in Charlotte. Lives in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's my niece. And she could. But she's not 59 and a half. So even if I want to say, hey, niece, you need to talk to your uncle. Well, that's her call. But my point I'm trying to make here is, but there are some of you who are no longer in jobs and you're having, like I was telling a client of mine this past Sunday, I said, you've been taking risks for a long time. What percentage of your retirement are you comfortable losing today? What percentage? So I was looking for a percentage because I want to protect the percentage that you don't want to lose. They said 0. So I said 100%. So I said, what we could do is this. You have something somewhere else, a 401k somewhere else that's grown. Let us roll that over for you and take risk where you're working right now. So even if you lose everything where you're working right now, what you had is protected. That's wisdom. Even the companies that I represent, and they're all over 100 years old, check this out. They got to have reserves by law. And financial literacy is not, it's not a game. I don't care if you're an entrepreneur, if you're an educator, if you're an engineer, an attorney, a nurse, a doctor, medical doctor. I got clients who are medical doctors. I got clients who are attorneys. I got clients who are nurses. I have clients who are educators. I have clients who are entrepreneurs. I have clients who are on disability. I have clients who are you know, everything. I have clients with PhDs, MDs, but they know what they don't know. I don't know how to do a lesson plan for a class, for a school. I know civics. I grew up here. I was talking to someone the other day and I realized they were born November 1979. I was already in the US. I met someone who was born in 1978 in September. I was already in the US. In a couple of years, I'll be here 50 years. But I'm not an educator. My best friend, he's an educator. I have friends who are PhDs and MDs and doctors, whatever. I don't care what your education background is. Your educational background don't determine your worth. It shows that you were disciplined in a discipline and you've got that, but it doesn't mean some of my one of my best clients, one of a guy who died last year, guy had a high school diploma, but he was disciplined. The guy trusts me explicitly. Whatever I tell him to do, he would do. And someone I met in 2007, 2008, he didn't know me. I had moved from Boston 2 years prior, and he was a referral from his brother-in-law or his ex-brother-in-law, who was my client. And I gave him my word. I said, man, you don't know me from a hole in the wall. But the things I'm going to promise you, I'll always be there for you. I will educate you. Sorry, we're having my account is buffering here on this computer. I apologize. I said, I'll be there for you. I'll educate you. And as long as I'm alive, you don't have to call a toll-free number. I have a client in Philly. When she called me last month, and she says, Terrence, she's older than me. She's about 76, I think, 76, 77. She says, don't go anywhere. I said, I ain't going anywhere. I'm going to be here. I have a client that I spoke with in South Carolina yesterday, and I said to her, or day before yesterday, I said to her, would you rather have a toll-free number to talk to AI or talk to me? You can text me 3 o'clock in the morning. When I get up, I'll answer it. If clients have texted me like early in the morning, like 5 o'clock when I'm on my throne, and boom, I respond. Some of you watching have texted me that early, and boom, you get a response from me. My point I'm making here is that protecting what you have and making sure that you have the right advisor to help you is key to protect what you want to do. So those 3 retirement strategies, they have to be supplements. One, you got to have one that's like a pension or an annuity. Now, companies don't do pensions anymore. They're called defined benefit plans. They don't do them anymore. They do defined contribution plans like a 401k, 403b, 457, TSP, 401a, where you make contributions and they match up to a certain amount. That's what companies do now. And I always I had an appointment this past Sunday, and I told the individual, who was a family member, I said to them, right now, I'm not Luku Boy. I'm not Havis. I'm not Little Boy. I'm not Terrence. I'm not Mr. But I'm a licensed financial pro. And I go into costume, and I go into character, and I speak with conviction, with resolve, dedication, giving information that you can tell I know what I'm talking about based on what I'm saying. So for those of you who are watching tonight, I'm not here begging for your business, not at all. I'm not here telling you have to do stuff with me. Not at all. I'm telling you, make sure you have those strategies in place. Because guess what? I just told you guys why you keep doing what you're doing. Like I told you guys, like Paul in the Bible, what you're supposed to do, you're not doing, and what you're not supposed to do, that's what you're doing. So if you like to spend, but have some constraints, have a budget, make sure. It was so funny. Yesterday, I went to pay 2 bills, and one was really high, and I was like, got it. But in the back of my mind, I knew that bill paying does not create wealth. It keeps you in a house or in an apartment or with a car or with the lights on or the water or the cable, but it's not going to create wealth for you. You have to be determined. You have to decide that you're going to do it. And you need an accountability partner. Some of you have done very well. I mean, I have some friends that I've seen some of their portfolios and I'm like, wow. I say, when I leave, give yourself a pat on the back. So now that you've done that, let's show you how to protect it. Let's show you how to protect it. And I have some clients who are my Facebook friends who you will never know they're my clients. Like I said, I don't say who my clients are, or I might say who they are, but you don't know what I did. But some of them I will never tell because they don't want nobody to know. I keep telling them I ain't your side piece. I'm your piece. You gotta post me. You gotta put me on your status, your WhatsApp status, your Facebook story, your TikTok status, your Instagram. Not literally, but what I mean by that, telling somebody. So this client in South Carolina, on this coming Sunday, I'm going to do a presentation for about 20 of their family and friends via Zoom. I'm going to put a tie on. I'm going to look professional. I don't have to, but I'm going to do it. Because this person has told me, what you do for me, I want you to do the same thing for my family and my friends. That's the ultimate compliment. Let me tell you something, guys. For those of you who have maybe an entrepreneur, you can use these concepts that I'm talking about to fund a retirement for yourself. But there's always somebody talking about you as an entrepreneur. You may not know it, but you know what? Because most of my business is not from Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or X or YouTube. Most of my business is from mouth, someone telling somebody. Now, some people see what I do, and I've gotten clients off the internet, complete strangers that the only time I met them was after I came to deliver the stuff to them. We did it all virtually because they've been following me and watching me, so they know I'm legitimate. They know I'm real. They know I'm persistent. They know I'm constant. At 7 o'clock every Tuesday night, live via Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, X, and LinkedIn, I'm on here Tuesdays with Terrence. Like I told you guys tonight, my wife is preaching at church, doing a men's prayer. I can't even go because I'm here because I care about making that. Now, she understands because that's my livelihood. That's what I do. I don't do anything else. That's all I do. I would have rather be there as support and backbone. But this is my baby. This is what I care about. So why you keep doing what you're doing is because what you want to do, you can't do because your natural inclination is to do what you're not supposed to do. So you need me to keep telling you, to use a spiritual connotation, I'm not the Holy Spirit, but I'm your accountability partner to tell you, you need to do this. And if you listen to me, and some of you put your trust in me and become my clients and put you in a better situation than you were, you will start doing what you're supposed to do. You may falter, you may fall by the, like, I said I was going to give up bread for 6 months, but I've been cheating. Every time I go walking, I stop by Wawa and I get this big old pretzel and I eat it. So my pants is getting can't fit. And Sandy said, "You're cheating." I said, "Well, how you know I'm cheating?" He said, "I can see the salt from the pretzel in the car." My point I'm trying to make here, you can't cheat yourself with financial literacy. You can't cheat yourself by paying everybody and not paying yourself. It's not wise. Just like you pay, you know, everything sometimes electronically, do the same thing with yourself. Take care of yourself, because you know what? The only person who can take care of a 75 or 80-year-old you is a current age you. So if you're 22, the only person who can take care of the 50-year-old you is the 22-year-old. If you're 32, the only person who can take care of your 50-year-old is your 30. You're 42, 50. If you're 50, 57, the only person who can take care of your 67 or 70-year-old is your current age. Your most valuable asset is your ability to earn an income. Your most valuable asset is your ability to earn an income. Not your house, not your car, not your 401k, but your ability to earn an income. Because if you cannot work, you cannot pay your bills. Because if you have money saved, it's gonna be, right? So make sure you have a plan that when you're done, it's all said and done, and you retire, you have something that can never run out, a guaranteed lifetime income. I can help you with that. So tonight, why you keep doing what you're doing is because what you want to do, you cannot do because of your lifestyle, because of you don't have that accountability partner, meaning not your husband or your wife or your kids, someone who's going, because I tell my clients like it is. Straight up. No chaser. Boom. I tell them. Because you know why? Because I want them to, down the road, be better. So if you like what you heard tonight, share this live. If you don't like what you heard tonight, don't share the live. If you know someone who should talk to me, give them my phone number. It's scrolling. Tell them to text me so I can put their number in my phone so when they call, it won't go straight to voicemail. Say he's a licensed financial pro. He's ready for the fray. He'll be able to help you. So why you keep doing what you're doing is because you don't have an accountability partner. The show is called Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is H. Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H. Some people call me Havis. Some people call me Terrence. Some people call me Mr. Bardui. Some people call me Little Boy. If you're from the 767 YT Kubuli, tall as a body, you call me Luku Boy. That's La Pointe, Point Michelle. Dominica made me. Boston raised me. The South sustains me. The show is called Tuesdays with Terrence. Every Tuesday at this time, you can find me here talking about what you need to do, as a licensed financial pro. Folks, I don't take this for granted. I'm glad that you tuned in tonight, wherever you tuned in from, a different country, a different state, locally, or wherever you did. I don't take it for granted. I'm just glad you tuned in. So this is a song I wrote, The Roots of My Rise, and I had AI do it for me. And basically, as a licensed financial pro, I'm here for you. Thank you for watching. Make it a good night. Share the live, and God bless you. I'll strum along for you.
Dominica made me, that's where it all began. Island breeze, coconut trees, the heart of my plan. From the hills and the smiles to the songs of the sea, that island spirit molded the person I'd be. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray. On those snowy streets, learn to stand tall, navigating life, every rise, every fall. From the commons to the brownstones, I made my claim. With every lesson learned, I embraced my name. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray. Now the South sustains me with its warm embrace, a community of strength and love in every space. From the bayous to the beaches, I found my place. In this journey of finance, I've learned to chase grace. Dominica made me, Boston raised me high. The South sustains my soul as I reach for the sky. With every sunrise, I'm thankful and free. A licensed financial pro, just being me. So here's to the roots that shaped who I am. From Dominica's beauty to Boston's Grand Slam. In the South I stand strong, with purpose and pride. Together with my journey, side by side.
Thank you for watching. Good night. God bless you. Until next Tuesday at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Dominica made me. Boston raised me. The South sustains me. The show is called Tuesdays with Terrence. Good night, everybody.